this lecture, we'll discuss about the typecasting, default data types, default values of all the primitive data types, and reading the input from the console. Coming to the typecasting, the meaning of the typecasting is if you are converting one type of data type values into the another type of data type values, then it is called as a typecasting. There are the two types of typecasting. One is called as widening, another one is called as narrowing. Converting the small range of values into the larger range of values is called as a widening. For example, suppose there is an integer value which takes the 2 bytes, and if you want to store the integer value into a long type of value which occupies the 4 bytes, that means you can store the smaller range values into the larger range data types. So integer you can store in the long type of values, that is called as a widening. And the type of typecasting is narrowing. This is the opposite to the widening, storing the large range of data type values into the smaller range of data type values. For example, if you take a float point number 2.3, a float is of size 4 bytes. If you want to store 2.3 float value into an integer variable, integer occupies the 2 bytes. That means converting the highest data type values into the lower data type values, that is called as a narrowing. And the typecasting is nothing but converting one type of data type values into the another type of data type is called as a typecasting. For example, if you take this example, there are the three variables we declared. One is byte type, and this is a value. By default, this value is the integer value, and the integer value we are storing into the byte value. So in this case, what we need to do is we need to convert the integer value into the byte value. And one more example is, look at this. I is the byte type of value, and it is multiplied with the integer type of value. That means the byte data type, after performing this operation multiplication and addition, the byte value, since it is multiplied with the integer value, the entire result will be converted into the integer. Now the integer value you are storing into the long data type. That means lower range of data type values are converted into the higher type of data type values. So this is called as a widening. And one more thing, and look at this. Here I is the byte data type, and 3.1 is a double data type, and k is a long data type. And among all these data types, the largest data type is the double. That means this entire value is converted into the double, and the result is stored in the double. So here these are the examples where the type conversion is required, converting the one data type values into the another data type values. Now, when do we require the type conversion is whenever you are going to perform the arithmetic operations like previous one, then there will be changing of the data type values from one data type into the another data type. In the numerical data type values, the high range of data type values is double. In the expression, if one of the data type value is double, then the entire expression will be evaluates to double, and the left side the variable should be the double type of value. If it is not double, if in the expressions the highest data type is float, then the entire result will be converted into the float. And if it is not float, if it is the long data type, then the entire result will be converted into the long data type. Otherwise, it is integer only. So this is the range of values from highest range to the lowest range: double, float, long, and integer. And look at this. So widening means converting the smaller data type into the highest data type. So these are the primitive data types which are used to work with the numbers. The lowest data type range is the byte, which occupies only 1 byte. Next one is the short, 2 bytes. Next one is the character, it is also 2 bytes. And next one is integer, it is 4 bytes. Long is 4 bytes, and float is 4 bytes, and double. And here in the widening case, lowest data type values are converted into the highest data type. This will be done automatically. There is no need to perform the typecasting. But for the reverse case, which you want to convert from highest data type value to into the lowest data type. For example, if we want to convert a double type of value into the float type of value, then we need to perform that type conversion manually. For example, if I want to store float value into the integer value, integer type, that means highest data type value into the lowest data type. Here the compiler will not convert that implicitly. We have to do that by using the typecasting operator. This is the way the range increases from byte to double. Now, if you see this example, see this. Here double d equal to 3. 3 is generally integer data type, and you can store that integer value in the double type of variable. Here, the typecasting will be done automatically. This is widening. Lowest data type value are stored in the highest data type variable. Now, explicit typecasting. When explicit typecasting is required, if you want to convert the highest data type value into the lowest data type. For example, see this, the right side value equal to 3.0. 3.0 means it is a double type of value. And if you want to store that in an integer variable I, that means double type of value cannot be directly stored into the integer type of value. So for that, we need to perform the narrowing. Narrowing has to be done by using the type conversion operator. That means we need to manually typecast the value 3.0 from double to integer. So this indicates that typecasting operator. You need to use these braces. Within the braces, you need to specify the data type to which data type you are converting. This is called as a narrowing. And what will happen if you are converting from highest data type to the lowest data type is generally the fractional part is truncated. That means this value will become 3 and this value will be also become 3. This is by discarding the fractional part. Now we will see the previously what are all the different data types are there. According to the list of experiments given in the syllabus, the first exercise is we need to display the default values of all the data types. So the program, I'll be explaining this with the help of an example program. I'll show you that program. Look at this. I am creating a class, and in that class, we are declaring the different variables of the different data types. So B is of data type byte, S is of type short, I is of type integer, L is of type long, F is of type float, and D is of double type, and C is the character type, and BL is the Boolean data type, and string is the string data type. Actually, string is not the data type, it is a built-in class in Java language. Now, if you observe, we have declared all of them as a static keyword. The reason is static. If you are declaring a variable and if you are not assigning a value to that variable and if you are using that variable, it is going to display an error. So that is the reason we have declared these variables as a static variables. And the static variables are having the reason why we are using the static is, and if you want to display these variables in the main, and main is a static method. Only the static variables can only be accessed in the static methods. So by using the system.out.println method, we are simply displaying the all those data type default values. See here, we are displaying the default value of the byte data type, default value of short data type. Like this, we are displaying the all these values. Now I'll run this program. I'm using a terminal. I'm creating the terminal. Now I store this program in this location in the E drive Java programs. Now the name of the file is datatypes.java. Now first I'll compile the this program, file javac data types .java. There are no errors. If there are any errors, the errors will be displayed with some description. Now, after compilation of this program successfully, we will get the .class file that is called as a bytecode. Now, if you want to execute that program, we need to give the bytecode as input to the interpreter. So the bytecode is the name of the class which we are giving. Here the name of the class is data types. See here I am giving the different name. It is not finding the class. So the name of the class which we have given is data types. You see the naming convention. The first letter is capital and the next one is also capital. That means .class file will be created for this class. Now what I have to do is I need to give the .class file name. D is capital, T is capital. See this one. These are the default values of all the data types. The default value of short data type is 0. Previously we discussed about the data type. Short data type is the lowest range data types in the numerical type, which takes the byte is the lowest value range data type, which takes the only 1 byte. That means if you want to store the values in the range -127 to +127, then you can declare the data type as byte. The next highest range is short, which takes the 2 bytes, is this one. Next data type is integer, which takes the 4 bytes. And these are all numerical data types. Its default value is 0. If we want to store the decimal numbers, then we need to declare the float and double. The default value of float data type is 0.0 and the double data type is also 0.0. The only difference is it is the low precision single point precision, whereas the double is the double precision. Character data type, there is the default value for character data type is space. And the boolean, which takes the two values, either true or false. The default value of the boolean data type is false. The next one is the string data type. When we declare a string, look at this, when we declare a string and if we have not assigned any value for that string, then it is pointing to the null. So the default value for string is null. So this is the way to display the default values of all the data types. Simply declaring the variables and displaying those variables within the main method. Next one is, this is about the default values of all the data types. Next one is the reading the input from the console. If you want to read the input from the console, unlike system.out.println in Java language, there is no method directly to represent the method to take the input. So for that, what we need to do is we need to use one package called as a util package. So for that we need to use the statement called as a import java.util.star. So that means we are importing the util package. The reason why we are using the util package is within the util package there is one class called as a scanner class. So within the class we have one method, certain methods are there to read the values from the console. So after importing the util package, next thing is we need to create the object for the scanner class. These are all predefined classes in Java language. Scanner is one class which is available in the util package. Once we create the scanner object, by using that object, you can access the methods in that scanner class. Next thing is the one method to read the integer values from the keyboard. Similarly, next double is method which is used to read the double type of values. Sorry, here I kept this one as integer values, but it is the double type of values. So this is the way to create the scanner object. So this is the class name. This is the object name equal to new class name and here we need to specify some parameter. Here the system.in represents the default input stream, that is the keyboard. Similarly, system.out represents the default output stream, that is monitor. So that is the reason whenever you want to display something onto the monitor, we use system.out. System.out means which represents the monitor, and by using the println method, we are displaying something onto the monitor. Now, after creating the object, now by using that object, you can use the methods available in the scanner class. As I told, nextInt is the one method which is used to read the integer values from the keyboard, and that value is stored in the variable called value. So these are the different methods which are used to read the different type of values. So if you want to read a byte value from the keyboard, the method is next byte. Similarly, if you want to read the short values, integer values, long values, float values, and double values. And these are the methods in scanner class to read the corresponding data type of values. Now I'll explain this one with an example program. I am going to create one more class here, read input.java. The general naming convention is for any class, the first letter in the is capital letter, followed by if there is any word, then the next word within that file name will also be the capital. R and I are capital here. Now create a class. Now within the class, I create the main method, public static void main string args. Now I would like to read two numbers from the keyboard. So what I have to do is, first of all, I need to import the util package. So for that, this is the statement import java.util.star semicolon. Now here I need to create the object of the scanner class. Since the scanner class is available in util package, we need to do that. So scanner s equal to new scanner, and here I need to specify the keyboard system.in. Now s is the object. By using the object, I need to read one integer value, s dot next int. I'm reading an integer. For that, I want to store that in a variable n1. Similarly, I am reading one more integer, and that value I am storing into the n2. Now, I would like to perform the operation system.out.println sum of the numbers. Whatever you are writing within the double quotes, it will be printed as it is. I would like to print the numbers n1 plus n2, and I am using the semicolon. And to give the more readability for the users, simply I am specifying that enter the first number in the statement. After this prompt, it will be asking you to enter the first number. The value will be stored in N1. Similarly, again it will be asking for second number. This is the code to read the numbers. Once again, observe the code. To make use of the scanner class, we are importing the util package. Once the package is imported, we are creating the object to the scanner class. Object is created by using built-in methods. We are reading the numbers. Next int method is used to read an integer value and that is stored in the variable n1. Again, second number is read and it is stored in the variable n2. After that, simply we are displaying the sum of those two numbers. Now I am saving that. Now I open the terminal. Java C file name. Read input.java. If there are any errors, it will be displayed here. Since there are no errors, directly got the plot. Now I need to execute the code by giving the dot class file. If you observe this, after compilation of the .java file successfully, we got this file read input.class. This file is not available before compiling the program. Once the successful compilation of the source code, then only we'll be getting the .class file. Now I need to give this .class file as input. There is no need to give the extension .class. So directly read input. It is asking for the first number. This is the way we need to give the input from the keyboard. I'm giving the number as 45. It is asking for the second number. I'm giving the value as 50. Now it is displaying the sum as 95. So this is the way to read the numbers from the console. Here the console, default console is the keyboard. System.in represents the keyboard.